Hello everyone, I'm Jonas, part of the MyMUN team, and it's my delight and my pleasure to contribute to the first World MUN Day ever. And with that, I want to start by saying a massive thank you to all those who participated in the organization of this and who started to make this happen in the first place. And I know there's a long list of people to mention at that point, but I just want to thank Philippe in particular, who's both a good friend and met through MUN, but also a key organizer in World MUN Day. So thanks for that. Thanks for tuning in here. And in this short contribution to this World MUN Day, we as a MyMUN team wanted to kind of share light a little bit on where is MUN right now, give some insights into some facts and figures, but also want to kind of give an outlook on you know where we want to go, where we want to take MUN, and what our vision for that is. A little background on me. I started doing MUN back in high school. And it kind of became an addiction ever since. As a mechanical engineer, for me, it was always a bit unusual compared to what I would usually be surrounded by. But nevertheless, that for me was always the charming point to meet people that are outside of my bubble. And as such, I've participated in MUNs and in the function as a delegate, as a chair, as organizer, or secretary general. And now with MyMUN and MUN Command, we're providing software to make your organization, your conference, your entire experience just that extra bit better. But why do we do what we do? Because MUN has given us so much, starting from the fact that I can just deliver this very conversation in English, but also having friends like Philippe who organized this, whom I met through MUN. It's all those soft skills that I picked up and learned that really got me through, many internships, and I'm positive that they will help me in my further career. There's so much of all these things that me personally, but all of us at MyMUN took away from MUN, and for us, it's just a way of giving back to those people kind of who are next to come, because people helped us when we were first time delegates and stuff, and so we want to share that vibe and really create an environment where it's easier to organize a conference, with the vision being that we want every student around the world to participate in at least one MUN conference in their student life. So every student has a chance to get addicted, but also to benefit from all the things that we can learn and take away from Model United Nations. But are we on track for that? Are more and more people starting to do MUN? And especially now with COVID happening, the question seriously comes, where are we at, and our numbers of MUN is growing? And that's a very difficult question to answer. We try to make estimates about how many people actually do MUN every year, or how many conferences there are, but it really is difficult to make any numbers, because every time we meet someone from a country that we hadn't had contact with so far, you realize there's a whole new MUN scene. And for example, in China, there's a huge MUN scene that we weren't aware of until a few months ago. The same applies to North America, where we figure out that every other high school has another huge MUN conference with hundreds of students. So really there's more than we would think. Now that's the good news, and it's always very refreshing and energizing to see all these pockets of passionate MUNers around the world. But on the other hand, the numbers show something slightly different. And for this, I looked into two publicly available kind of data sources. If there's any chance I can tag them somewhere, be sure that I will. Should this not be the case, then just send us a message to MUN Command or MyMUN in social media, and I'm happy to share the sources. Which, number one, is the statistic on how many people access the Wikipedia article on MUN. While this doesn't exactly give us an in-depth insight into how many people do MUN, it kind of shows a trend a little bit. And that trend, not surprisingly, has declined a lot when COVID hit, but it's keeping on declining. And though it kind of stabilized a little bit, but it's something that I do find concerning. And on the other hand, I looked into the Google search trends, which are also publicly available. You can look at how many people Google Model United Nations. And again, while this isn't exactly a number, a figure that will tell you how many people do MUN, it correlates to the statistics and the numbers that we see in the Wikipedia article. So what do? Well, I personally just hope that this is a phase, and we're now in the phase where we're rebuilding MUN. Kind of, I don't want to say from the ground up, but there have been many changes through COVID. The biggest threat that we see is that many people only do MUN for a few years, and this is just from the nature of being a student and moving on, having other responsibilities and all these things. However, the big threat there is that now with almost 2 years of the pandemic dragging on, that we start to have a knowledge gap, and that transition of knowledge from kind of student generation to generation isn't happening as much as it used to. And what do we do if there's like one generation, 1 year only, or 2 years maybe of students missing? And so this is a situation where many societies struggle, many conference organizers struggle. I wouldn't want to compare it to the global scale of the issue, but in a very local sense, the same experience. When I first joined the MUN Society in my university city, it was then when a kind of generation of students graduated without having done enough recruitment. So there was a moment when there was 3 of us left over, and we thought, how do we rebuild this? How do we start without having all that knowledge and experience from previous generations available? And I can tell you that it's hard, and it takes a lot of energy and work to go out and find people to join your club and join your association. But personally, I've learned a lot, and I wouldn't want to miss those times. But now that we have a platform through MyMUN and MUN Command, we want to help all of those MUNers out there who are in similar situations, who are sitting there now with little recruitment that has happened in the previous month, to restart your MUN society, restart your MUN conference. If really you want to build something up there, then let us know. I would love to support this, to share this knowledge that previous generations did have. And so my very, very urgent call to action there would be start your MUN clubs and rebuild them, and reach out both to newcomers, to people who might be interested in joining your clubs, but also stay in touch with those who left, who are not as active anymore, and try to incorporate their knowledge and their experience as much as you can. And with all of this, of course, you have a great opportunity that with online conferences, MUN has become a lot more accessible for many. Yet, of course, that in-person conference where you just meet people is something that I'm very much looking forward to. I'm equally looking forward to making MUN World MUN Day thing, to establish it and see it in the years to come. It's my delight and pleasure to have been here at this very first edition of it. And I'm looking forward to all of you who want to stay in touch. It is our vision and mission to make every student participate in at least one MUN, and MyMUN and MUN Command provide you the software to do that best. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know your feedback. And reach out and make connections that will last, not just for an MUN career, but for a lifetime. With that, I thank you very much, and I yield the floor back to the organizing team. Thank you.